So I recorded an hour's worth of live commentary over Neverwinter. I'm level 52, and it disappeared. The video is still here, but the audio was completely silent. And that's weird because my microphone wasn't muted. I double-checked it, and my recording software was working because it created a giant file, but there's no sound at all. Another issue, which I didn't notice beforehand, is you cannot see the mouse cursor at all. This is despite the fact that FRAPS was set to record the mouse cursor, and Neverwinter has its own unique cursor. I don't remember that being an issue in the first video, but maybe it very well was that it disappeared. Here I'm just explaining, I'm not going to be able to go over everything that I went through the first time because I honestly don't remember. I recorded an hour's worth of live gameplay, and it's been an hour or two since I did that. So here's the landing screen. I'm just going over the fact that there's the skirmish, the dungeon delve, both of which are 5 players, the foundry, which is the player-created dungeons, and if they've got the little flag icon on them, that means they count towards the foundry daily quests. And then the fact that there's these events that happen every hour. Here's a calendar showing special events. Here's the queue tab that shows how you can queue up to join those 5-man skirmish and dungeon events. And the fact that it only shows the ones that are for your level or higher and within a certain range. There are other dungeons in that are maybe like 1 level. Literally, there's one that's like a level below where I am. But it disappears, and you can't queue up for it. You can still do it by actually walking to the front of the dungeon and walking inside of it with your party. I think you have to have a party in order to even enter them, but I'm not entirely certain on that. Here I'm going through, there's a Foundry tab. And here I'm explaining that when I play the game, I play for about an hour at a time. And the reason why is, I hit the wrong button there, you do this thing called an invocation. And it's that little glowing, flashing symbol up there. I've got my mouse talking about it. And you hit Control-I. You have to be, I think, 11th level, 10th or 11th before you're able to do it. So it occurs pretty quickly in the game. And when you pray to the gods through the invocation, you get a bonus to some of your stats. Sometimes they'll give you an item, like here I got a potion. And then the first and maybe second, maybe even third time you do it every 24-hour cycle, you can get some astral diamonds, which are in-game currencies, kind of like the main currency unit, and experience. And you can do that every hour, and that's why I play for about an hour. It's this built-in timer at the top of the screen that tells me it's been 1 hour. Here I'm just going through a little bit of my inventory. I think I'll bring up the profession screen in a moment as well. Man, having to do this after the fact is kind of terrible. I have no clue what I'm even talking about right now. Oh, here's the profession screen. Everything that's already in motion, and it's going to take more than an hour for any of them to finish, so we're not going to really do any professions while we're here. But suffice to say, the mailsmithing is the crafting profession that's for devoted clerics and great weapon fighters. When you use the mailsmithing, it allows you to make pieces of armor and clothing. There's actually like a pants and a shirt slot for you, and it will you can craft better versions of those clothing slots and then also armor. The armor ones are kind of useless. I have never crafted any piece of armor that was even close to being what I've already have equipped. But I guess you craft pieces of armor, and then later on, as you gain levels, you gain the ability to enchant them and make them better. But even the enchanting and even those rare profession tasks that appear at the top of the list, they've never produced anything that wasn't all red numbers for me, where it was strictly worse than what I have equipped. The leadership one is actually the way to play the game without playing the game. The leadership tasks grant you experience and astral diamonds, and they can give you items, and you can essentially level up a character. If you wanted to take years to do it, basically, you could level up a character the entire way using just the leadership progression system. in order to gain experience and what have you. Here, I think I'm running around just explaining the various things. We have the vendors. This is the Harper who gives you talks about foundry quests. We have the quest givers. I think I'm going to walk right over to the bounty hunter. Yeah, here I'm explaining that there's these blue fire insignias, and those are the items that you collect from enemies in this area, and then you turn them into the bounty master, and he'll give you either these Seal of the Pegasus, which gives you high-level equipment, but they're very kind of expensive. It takes 40 of those insignias to buy one seal, or you can buy these item packs that come with one green, which is the uncommon item, or one of the unique items that drops from a boss in the area. And those are kind of crapshoots, but for the most part, that's actually what I've spent my seals on. Here I have 41 seals of the Manticore already. Those are Manticore seals, which buy lower level equipment than you would get with the Pegasus seals, which are now brand new to this area for my level. On this screen, you can see how many Astral Diamonds you have. When you gain rough Astral Diamonds, you can then process them into real Astral Diamonds. That's put in place because then as a game, they can reward you with rough Astral Diamonds, but you have a limit on how many you can refine into regular Astral Diamonds. Here I'm explaining that when you do your invocation and pray to the gods, you gain two different types of currency. One is the celestial coins. You can only ever have 7 of those, and if you don't pray for 24 hours plus a couple more, I think it's like 27 or 29 hours, you lose them and you have to restart. There's 2 main things you want to buy with them. One is this profession pack, which costs 5 celestial coins and gives you items for your crafting, which is good. I think I'll open up my menu here, yeah, and I'll highlight this blue guy. He's an adventurer. I got that guy the first time I bought this professions pack. He makes your leadership tasks, when you set him to do the task, they happen 25% faster. So if I'm doing like a 12-hour or 18-hour task, I'll throw him on that and it'll get it done just a little bit sooner. The other one is this 7-coin enchantment pack. It comes with either 1 rank 4, 2 rank 4, or 1 rank 5 enchantment, and the more important part is either a preservation ward, which when you fuse together enchantments, that'll if you fail, then you don't lose one because you use up that ward. And then the blue ward is actually the I think it's an automatic success when you fuse together. Here I'm actually going to show you. I have 4 rank 3 dark enchantments, and I'm going to fuse them into 1 rank 4 dark enchantment. It takes 4 enchantments of 1 level to fuse into 1 enchantment of the higher level. And here I think I'm just showing you my bag is completely filled with these enchantments and companion slot rune stones, which are enchantments for your companion. I haven't gotten rid of them, and I just have tons and tons of them. If you paid attention, to go from rank 3 to 4 was an 85% chance of a success. Here for rank 4 to rank 5 is a 60% chance of success. So the chance of success definitely drops as you go. The highest level enchantment I have right now is 5th level, but I've been told that they go even higher. The problem is I don't have more than 1 5th level or maybe 2 5th levels of anything, and you need at least 4 to do the fusing into a higher level. But I think that's why rank 4, 3 and 4 enchantments are green, which is uncommon, and rank 5 enchantments are blue, which is rare. And then I think if you go up into higher levels, you'll actually get purple ones. The other type of coin you get when you invoke the gods, you get 1 a day, is ardent coins. And you can spend those on seals, which allow you to buy equipment at special vendors in the main area of the game. Or you can spend it on some potions. They have a dye pack, which just gives you colors so that you can dye your equipment. They have a white horse. And it's not actually any better or any faster than the horses that you can buy as a mount automatically for in-game money. The only special thing is it's white, and none of the other ones are white. And then what you can save up for, if you pray every day for almost a year, 360 coins, you can get that angel, and that's a companion. I have Gabera, that's my companion. She's a cleric. And you get one for free. I think it's at 11th level, somewhere in there. You get a free companion. And There, that German guy got in my way. She maxes out at rank 15. She levels up, gains experience just like you do. And she hit rank 15 pretty dang quickly. The regular kind of cheap companions all rank out at 15, and they'll get to that super quick. I think I was in my 20th levels or something when she hit rank 15, and now I'm level 52. So she has improved not at all over those 20-some levels I've had her at max rank. There are other companions you can get that are rare. They come in lock boxes, or you can buy them for Zen, which is like real money that you have to pay for with a credit card. You don't have to. There's ways to get it without doing the credit card, but there's like special offers and surveys, but you gain a minuscule amount of Zen per purchase. Like you get 3 per survey, and it takes like 100 will buy you a key to a random chest. But to buy like companions, it's 3,000 or 4,000 Zen. So you'll have to be taking a lot of surveys. Here I'm just showing off a lot of the things, like here's the feat tree, and I've purchased abilities all throughout my levels, and I'm on the very bottom row now because I'm level 52. I'm saying that daily power is going to be my next thing that I purchase when I level up. Here's the feat tree, and you can see I've gone through the Destroyer Paragon path of the feats. And with their marquee ability, I don't know exactly what it's called, the capstone ability for the Destroyer, I charge up my Unstoppable. You can barely make out the little lightning bolt icon on the left of my character, and it'll start filling up. You can see it just now filling up with some little orange color. That's my determination bar, and once it reaches at least halfway, I can then activate my Unstoppable power. That allows me to, it gives me damage reduction, crowd control, it's not really immunity, it'll say immunity, but there's some boss effects that can still knock you around. And it'll also make your, increases your attack speed. So you become big, they can't move you, they can't hurt you, and you start smacking people around super fast. And another benefit for my character with my feats and everything is that it increases my ability to recharge my ultimate ability. Here I'm showing you the Restoring Strike. I don't remember if I got high enough level to use Restoring Strike in the first video, but I'm using that attack, an attack called Flourish, which stuns my opponent. Oh, here I'm running. I'm depleting my sprint meter, so I can show you when I use my Restoring Strike, it refills my sprint meter quite a bit. Pick up the garbage that they're dropping. I call it garbage. Those rune stones are used to buff up your companion, but my companion only has 3 slots, and they're filled with pretty good rune stones right now, so there's no reason for it. Here I'm looking around trying to figure out where the plague fires, or whatever they're called, that I'm supposed to be putting out, and then I see off in the distance that thing must be a plague fire, so let's go investigate. And I do remember that here starts the discussion about, you can see I just walked past that blue circle in the mini-map. I'm now outside of it. That blue circle is supposed to tell me the area to search to find the fires to put out. That's sort of like the quest demarcator on the mini-map. And wow, I just annihilated 2 guys with 1 strike. That was pretty cool. So I start not really complaining, but complaining and explaining that they'll have these blue quest marker areas on the minimap, and yet for the most part they will put the things that you're looking for, whatever they happen to be, in this case putting out those fires, they tend to be arranged all on the ring or just outside of the circle. So if you're cutting across in the middle of the circle looking for stuff, you're less likely to find it than if you just walk along the edge of the blue area. I'm also explaining that when they have a quest that mentions you need to kill so many things or find so many things, you don't have to be in the blue circle for it to count. Anywhere that you kill it or do it, it counts. That comes up a lot with those enemy killing quests. Those waves of power, that's one of my 2 daily powers that I have equipped. It's called Slam. And with the feat choices I've made, whenever I use Slam, I actually gain 25% to my power rating. So I hit everything harder while Slam is activated. My Q ability, which is the one where I'll hold the sword up above my head for a fraction of a second and then slam it down. In fact, that move when I said, oh, I killed 2 of them with 1 hit, that was it. It's called Indomitable Battle Strike. And if you use it to kill someone, if it delivers the finishing blow, it actually refills a sizable chunk of your daily meter. The build that I've used for my Great Weapon Fighter maximizes the refill on my daily power, and the intention, the strategy behind it is to keep up the slam ability, that daily power that boosts my attack by 25%, while also damaging everyone around me. Try and keep that up as often as possible. Now, I'm not going to do that very much in the video because I'm still learning the Indomitable Battle Strike. I had earlier replaced an ability called Takedown, which was on that same queue. And Takedown I would use without having to try and kill people. I was using it it knocks people prone and it interrupts attacks, and so it's really good for that kind of strategy, I guess. We'll use the word strategy. And what it does is it recharges really fast if you miss. And so I would use it kind of all the time and spam it. And you can't do that with Indomitable Battle Strike if you want to derive maximum benefit. Indomitable Battle Strike does... I'm saying Indomitable Battle Strike because if you look on forums or what have you, everybody will abbreviate it as IBS. But for me, IBS means Irritable Bowel Syndrome, so I don't want to call it IBS. But the Battle Strike, it deals a lot of damage. I think it's actually my highest damage attack as far as my encounters go. Just a little bit better than Flourish. Whereas Flourish, which is that move right there with the four little ghostly copies of me come out and hit him. You can see the other ghostly copy of me, that yellow version of me that keeps hitting this guy. That's one of my at-will powers called Weapon Master Strike. Because of some of the feats and bonuses I have for Weapon Master Strike, it makes it increases my damage with at-will attacks. So if I hit an enemy, my next set of attacks actually deal extra damage because of Weapon Master Strike. So it's like my go-to attack. The Flourish stuns enemies, which is good. The Healing Strike heals me and replenishes my stamina. Indomitable Battle Strike deals slightly more damage than Flourish, but it only has a special effect if you kill someone. And that effect is twofold. One, it will mark nearby enemies, and that'll appear as a big red X on top of them. That mark means they take extra damage until they... it says until they attack me, but at the same time, and this is where I'm actually looking at what it exactly says... I think it's actually until they damage me, because I've had them, like, ogres and things swing at me, and because there's that big X on them you just saw, because they haven't actually hit me, the X stayed there, and so they take extra damage, I guess. But the reason why I use it is because it helps refill my daily power. It says it does it an extra, like, 50% than you would normally gain from dealing damage. And I don't know if you can read it. It looks like it's not going to be high enough resolution to do that. The 1 hour of gameplay, recording at half screen size but 60 frames per second, was 67 gigabytes of video. Which is why I'm very happy that I have a hard drive that's almost completely empty, and it's pretty much its sole purpose is that's where I record FRAPS videos. So here my quest at the moment is to reclaim that flag. And there's this big guy here. He's not really that bad. He's a boss that's on the overworld, which means he's not going to be super special. He just happens to have a lot of hit points, and he'd be pretty easy to solo. But it just so happened this other dwarf, who I believe is a cleric, happens to be here at the same time. We both kill this guy, and he runs over and steals the flag. And now I'm angry, because what if the flag doesn't respawn soon? That would be very upsetting to me. And so here I'm yelling at him, but fortunately the flag pops right back into existence, and I can grab it. And now I'm going to go take the flag and turn in my quest. Yep, here I'm getting a little bit of... I don't think I was getting angry yet. Later on, it will change what quest I'm doing randomly. You know, I wasn't setting it to a certain quest. And despite having a quest to turn in, it went past the turn in and, like, wanted me to go to the next quest. And that's annoying because I head off in the wrong direction. And it would be more efficient for me to turn in the first quest and then head into the next direction. But the game's stupid and just randomly changes stuff on you. I have the mount. You don't really notice how fast you go with the mount until you have someone else, like another player, running at the same time. That's when you really notice the speed boost. While I'm tooling around on my horse, which I don't think you get to name the horse. I don't feel like I'm moving all that fast. But then when I actually see other people running next to me, it's blatantly obvious how fast I'm going, which is nice. That said, I'll talk really quickly about the mount. When you are level 20, I believe, is when you gain access to the mount. Later on, I will open up my inventory and I'll point to the mount tokens you get at level 20. You actually have a quest to go talk to the mount vendor, and he will give you these tokens, and there's 3 of them, and they let you rent a horse for a certain amount of time. I'm not sure because I've never used one. The other option is you have to save up 5 gold pieces. There's 100 copper to a silver and 100 silver to a gold. So that's a lot of, what is that, 10,000 copper pieces per gold piece? So saving up for 5 gold is kind of difficult. I did it very close to level 20. I was either 20 or 21 by the time I had sold enough junk to get the money. But I bought my horse then, and once you buy the horse, it's yours, and it summons automatically. I have mine set to the number pad number 0, because it initially has it on 6, and 6 is right next to your healing potions, and maybe I don't want to waste a potion, considering I have a cleric companion. Speaking of companions, they come at level between 11 and 20, I believe, somewhere in there. The game will tell you after the Tower District, which is an area where you adventure through, and when you're done and you report back, one of your prizes, one of your rewards for finishing the quests there is the ability to have a companion. And your first companion is completely free. You can buy more after that, but for what I do, I think the cleric is best for me. It's possible I could actually go and buy a great weapon, not a great weapon fighter, a guardian fighter, to kind of draw the enemy's attention away from me. But the problem with that is, I think I have already mentioned it. Did we look at the companion screen? I think we did, and they were level 15, and that's when they get... oh, see that chest? That's a nightmare lockbox. I think I'll open that up in a sec. Yeah, the companions are stuck at level 15 right now, unless you get a fancy one, so they die fast. So here, will it pop up? I don't think it did. I think I'm going to make an announcement down there, too. That orange text in the bottom left in the chat, that's someone in German getting a nightmare mount. Okay, here we go. So this chest, you have to open it with enchanted keys, and the only way to get enchanted keys is through Zen, which is the real money version of currency. I did buy a set of keys and opened up a bunch of them and didn't really get anything worthwhile. Nothing permanent, just things that, like, consumables, really. The jeweled idols and maybe some of those enchantment coffers, things like that at the bottom. The crappy stuff. So I didn't win anything good. But if you do win the Nightmare mount, 1, the Nightmare mounts are faster than normal mounts. 2, they look cooler because they're nightmares rather than just horses. And 3, just like that German guy earlier who got in the way of me showing you one of the menus, when you open up and unlock a Nightmare mount, it announces it across your entire zone. So everybody that's in the zone with you, your stupid name in orange pops up on top of their screen and blocks out part of what they can see. I think I'm gonna, yeah, use your big smash. There's the overhead smash. Helps to replenish my action point, which is the orange D20 that's slowly filling up in the bottom middle of the screen. So Nightmare lockboxes are there, but they cost real money, and I think I was explaining the fact that they drop 1 million of them, because I've opened like 12 or 14 of them. I bought one set of keys with real money, and then after that I did a couple of the surveys just to gain enough to open another 1 or 2. And I still have 31 lockboxes. You get like 10 automatically, I think, and then all throughout the game, enemies drop them at random, and I still have, it says right there, 31 of them. Those are the mount requisition tokens. I have never used them. I kept them in my inventory just in case they allow you to rent a mount that might be faster, but I don't think it's true. You can also buy as many mounts as you want. They cost 5 gold a piece, and the only thing that's different between the ones that you can buy is the color. I bought the Brindle mount. When you are at the mount vendor, it will have names of them, the different types of, and their horse names. So if you know horses, maybe you'll get it a bit better than I did. But they don't actually show you a picture of what the horse looks like. There's just the tiny icon of the horse's head on the at the vendor, and you have to make your choice based on that. And I chose Brindle, and they have kind of like a, I call it like my tiger striping there on the horse's butt that you can see as we run. It seems like there's little black stripes going down each side, so I like to pretend that my horse is part tiger. Here we are going to what I call the mini dungeon. At the beginning of each time you sign into the game, they bring up that queue for the 5-man dungeons, but in each of the areas, one of your final quests for the area... Oh, here it says server not responding. I don't know if that's their server isn't responding to me, or if my internet sucks. It could be one or the other, or both. But anyway, the final quest generally in each little area is a 1-man dungeon or mini dungeon. And here I think I will light myself on fire in just a moment. And they're pretty easy. The mobs that are inside are the same mobs that you're fighting as you're running around. Listen to me saying mobs like some sort of MMO guy. That's a rant for another time. They're the same guys that you're fighting as you're running around, so they're no more difficult to defeat than normal. And they... There, I set myself on fire. And then there's a boss at the end, and the boss is pretty much the only thing that's an actual challenge. Here, he's going to hit me right after I loot the... Oh, no, I didn't loot the chest yet. Let's see if I remember to loot the chest afterwards. I might have forgotten to go back in and loot it. It's not a great loss. I won't feel bad if I forget to go back and loot it. Oh, that guy, you see he just got bigger? He also has Unstoppable. A lot of the enemies, not a lot of them, but some of the enemies are based on the character classes. And so those guys, they're called like Foul Spawn Berserkers. And then there's another one that's like a Corrupted Soldier that's also in this area. They're both based on the Great Weapon Fighter, so they have Unstoppable, and halfway down, when you get them to half health, they'll grow in size. I don't know if it's actually unstoppable, but it certainly looks and seems exactly the same. They even seem to take less damage once they engage in it, so I think it's close. Here I'm explaining that I get much better at finding the glowy bits that mean hidden items and lootable points. Like here, I see this chest, there's fire, they don't want you to go through the fire, but I said screw it, I'll just walk right through the flames. Not like it's going to do that much damage to me. I've got tens of thousands of hit points, so... And here, I'm going to identify some items just to see if they work. I will explain, like, I have a blue Grey Wolf breastplate. Blue means it's a rare item. And it has plus 552 power, which is kind of like your attack and healing stat. And it's pretty much the most important stat for a Great Weapon Fighter. So it's a long time coming before I'll ever find something to replace it. And then I think the impetus for this is anytime I pick up a new sword, a green sword, I will identify it. And that's because you never know when you're going to get a slightly better version of the same sword. Or even just like a better sword overall. You can have different items, and I think that's the end of this video. So we're going to stop here.